Good morning, students. Now, the next chapter that I am going to teach you, that is planning. In the first chapter, we have discussed about the 5 functions of management, that is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. So, now we are going to discuss sequence wise these functions in the chapters. First function, that is your next chapter, that is planning. Before starting it, I am going to give the introduction of planning. Either is any of the firm, either is a government sector, government, private sector, private firms, small organization, large organization, all are required to perform this function planning for performing their activity smoothly and even effectively and efficiently. They have to make the plan regarding future, that what activities should be performed by them and what instruction should be given by them to their employees, so they will carry out their work in a same direction. That is clear? So before starting it, I am going to tell you the definition of planning. Planning, it means thinking in advance, what to do, how to do, when to do, and by whom to do. It means thinking in advance what to do, how to do, when to do, and by whom to do. That we all the things are doing in planning. Suppose what to do, that what objective we have, how to do, how we will achieve that objective, when we are going to perform our activity, how we will perform our activity to achieve, and by whom it is to be, the work is to be carried out to achieve that goal successfully. It also, we can define that it is a planning is a bridge that fill the gap between where we stand and where we want to reach. It fill the gap by bridge. Planning is a bridge that fill the gap between where we stand today and where we want to reach. That is to be done under the planning. That also means planning. That is clear? In planning, first of all, we set up our objective, and on the basis of that our objective, we make our planning strategies, policies, method, procedure to achieve that objective. Planning should also keep in mind the time. Means planning is not endlessly. It is not for endlessly. It means one plan have a sufficient time, providing a sufficient time to achieve it. It should be a standard time to that standard objective to achieve. Suppose, for example, if I am giving the example that you have made your objective to get 90%, and you are doing the planning for that, you are arranging the books, you are making notes, you are go with the time management, with you are asking your doubts from different teachers, websites also are there, many YouTube channels are there, then you are able to arrange. But it has a time also, that you are not going to achieve that goal, that is to get 90% marks in class 12, and it will be, that objective should be achieved in 1 year, not in 4 year, 2 year, 4 year, 5 year. So planning also keep in mind the time value also. That is clear. Planning, it is to be done for making the activity of the firm, for performing the activity of the firm efficiently and effectively, so the firm is able to achieve the organizational goal in a well manner. That's why everyone is insisting to go through with the planning if you want that there should be a systematic work in the organization. That is clear to everyone. Now this is the meaning and definition of planning. Now I'm going to tell you the features of planning. Features of planning. The first feature, that is planning contribute to objective. Students, why planning contribute to objective? Because in planning, first of all, we are determining the objective of the firm. And without objective, we cannot able to perform this planning function. So after setting up the objective, then we are going to select the most appropriate procedure, method, strategies, policies to achieve that objective. That's why the first feature, it contributes to objective. Means the planning should be done on the basis of objective that is to be determined in planning. Next, that is, it is a primary function. It is a primary function. Why it is to be considered as a primary function? Because planning is a primary or the first function that every manager have to perform. And without this function, no function can be performed by anyone. As you know, the organization is in organizing, we are developing the structure. So the structure is to be developed according to the plan. The people are recruited, selected, and providing training according to the objective. We are giving the instruction in directing function according to the plan. We are comparing the actual output with the plan. So that's why it is the primary and the first function that every manager have to perform, and without it no function can be executed or performed by the manager. That is clear to everyone. Next, that is planning is pervasive. Planning is pervasive. Why it is to be considered as pervasive function? Because in planning is required at every level of management and even all type of organization that I have told you at the introduction of chapter, that either it is a government or a government companies, private firm, private companies, large organization, small organization, profit or non-profit, everyone they have, if they want to perform their activity in a well manner, they require planning. So by taking with the level of management, how planning is required in different level of management. At top level, planning function is to be required to frame the major plan and policy of the firm, to set up the objective of the firm. Planning is required. At middle level, this function is required to frame their departmental objective, plan and policy, departmental plans. So it is required at middle level. At lower level, it is to be required for planning the operational activity, how our operation will be going. That is to be decided by lower level management. And also it will be workable that how we are working day to day. So we have to make the plan. The planning is required at, that's why it is to be considered as pervasive function, that it is applicable at all level and every type of organization is required. Next, planning is futuristic function, or you can say forward looking. How planning is futuristic? Because we perform this function. Planning is always done for future. Planning can never done for past. Always whatever we are plan, it's for tomorrow, that what we have to do tomorrow. We haven't planned for yesterday, but we have what we had done yesterday. No, we have to make our plan for tomorrow, for future. And this, every manager, they always try to predict the future and make the assumptions on the basis of, and on the basis of that assumptions, the plans are made by keeping in mind the past experience of the person and the proper scanning, a better scanning of environment. Then these predictions are made, and on the basis of these prediction, plan are made. So these are made for what? These are made for future things. That is clear to everyone. Next, for achieving a goal, not for what we have lost. Yes, we have learned from our past mistake, and by using that past experience, we will make our future prediction and assumptions, and that we will work efficiently and effectively in future. Next, that is, planning is continuous. Planning is continuous process. Planning is never ending process. Once the plan have made, every manager, they have to be in touch with that plan, as the changes will occur in our dynamic environment. As you know, the business environment is dynamic, it keep on changing. So we have to make that changes. The manager have to make that changes according to the changes take place in the business environment. He has to make the changes. They have to make the changes according to the changes take place in the business environment in their plan. They have to make that changes in their plan. That is clear to everyone. And for example, suppose when plan it has made, at that time boom period is going, but while we are going to execute, implementing it, applied it, the recession period is going. So the manager have to make the changes now according to this period, recession period. Not he is going to blindly applied or implement without seeing this situation or ignoring this situation. That is clear. That's why it is a continuous process. Next, planning involve decision making. Why it involves decision making? Because as you know, every day the manager have to take various decisions, and with the help of planning function, as in planning is needed only when more number of alternatives are there. As more alternatives are there, by evaluating them, by analyzing them, by checking them by the manager, he can select the best and most appropriate, which give the maximum benefit to the firm. Planning is not needed when only one alternative is there, because there is no need to plan or evaluate anything. We have one, we have to utilize it. For example, if we have more number of books, then we are able to check, analyze all the books and select the best one which give a maximum benefit to us. Same as it is, if we have only one book, either its language is tough or not, either its matter is good or not, but we have to select that, we have to go through with that. But if we have 4, 5, 7 book, so we can select the best which and most appropriate book which give better facilitate to us. That is clear to everyone. Next, or the last, that's planning. It contribute to objective. It's a primary function. That is clear. It's pervasive, futuristic, continuous, involve decision making. Planning, it require the last feature, that is, it is a mental exercise. It is a mental exercise. How it is to be a mental exercise? It is to be considered as mental process because planning require higher thinking, higher intelligence. As you know, in planning, the manager have to forecast the future, and on the basis of forecasting he make the prediction and assumptions, and these forecasting, this making of assumptions, prediction, it require higher level of intelligence and higher level of thinking. Even if I am talking about when to select the best alternative among the different alternative that is available before the manager, that also require a higher thinking, higher intelligence. So because of that, we can consider as an intellectual process. It can be considered as it require a mental exercise, a mental process. That is clear to everyone. So these are the features of planning. Now I am going to tell you the next topic, planning. Why planning is important for every firm or any type of firm or for anyone. Importance of planning. We are going to go with the point wise. First, that planning provide direction. Planning provide direction. As in planning, we decide in advance the all course of action which is to be performed by the employees of the organization. In planning, the direction, we are directing the employees that in which direction they have to put their efforts. For putting their efforts, we are instructing them, guiding them, and that is on the basis of planning. In planning, it guide the people, guide the employees to perform their activity and to carry out their work, and it's lead to unity of direction, as everyone they are following the same plan which is to be told by their superior. The employees are following they're performing their activity according to the plan or according to the instruction that is to be given by the superior, and these direction it is to be made in advance for carried out the activities, carried out the performance of the employees. Suppose if the plan is not there, to every employee, they don't get any direction and they will do their work in different style, and it causes to problem. It create problem, chaos and confusion in the organization, and the organization is not able to achieve their desired goal. So because of planning, we are able to achieve our goal successfully. Next, that is planning reduce risk of uncertainty. As in the organization, the manager have to face many unexpected and many uncertainty situation in the organization. So planning, it help the manager. As in planning, the manager he foresee the future and making the prediction. And by making these prediction, he is keeping in mind the past experience, and he is doing a proper scanning of the business environment and make the plan. So because of forecasting and making assumptions and prediction, it reduces the uncertainty, and the firm is able to face that uncertainty which will be occur in future with the help of our plan. For example, firm is making the assumptions, making their prediction that anytime that maybe that time will be there that fire will be occur, any natural calamities will be occur. So for reducing or for facing these uncertainties, the plan they have forecast the future and make their assumptions and plan to face with this and to control, to deal with this uncertainties and reduce the risk of uncertainties. That is clear to everyone. Next, that is planning reduce overlapping and wasteful activity. How? Because the organization they have to make their plan. They have make the plan by keeping in mind all the requirement of departments. These departments, they are making they're deriving their plan according to the organizational plan. So automatically they will coordinate to each other. They are making, and even if all the manager, non-manager and employees, they are performing their activities according to the plan, then there will be no wastage of resources, no overlapping will be there, no duplication of work will be there, and everyone is clear regarding the thoughts, that because it is to be decided in advance that what work should be done by that person and what work should be done by another person. So everyone, they are performing their own activity, they are putting their best efforts to achieve the organizational goal. That is clear to everyone, and it reduces cost of production also. Fourth, that is planning promote innovative idea. Innovative ideas. As in planning, as you know, it requires a higher intelligence and skills and higher thinking. So by forecasting the future, by making the prediction, it forces the manager to select the best method, to analyze the best procedure, policy, strategies for performing a particular job. Planning also forces the manager to forecast the future and also making the assumptions and prediction. This help manager to make them innovative and creative, because those who have innovative mind, those who have creative mind, then that person is able to forecast the future, predict the future. That is clear to everyone. So it promotes the innovative ideas. Next, that is planning help in decision making. As you know, every day manager have to take many decisions, as in, so because of planning, in planning we are determining, the manager is determining the goal of the firm, they are forecasting, they are predicting the assumptions, and they are analyzing the different alternatives for and selecting the best one. So it helps the manager to take the decision fastly, to take the decision very fastly, very frequently. So because of planning, it helps the manager to take decision very fastly. Last, that is planning establish standard for controlling. Yes dear, as you know, controlling means match the actual performance with the planned output, and if there will be any differences, then find out the reason for that difference, and also taking corrective measures to remove that differentiation, that difference. That is clear. Suppose if planning is not there, then how controlling manager can compare the actual performance with the actual output with planned output? For example, if planned output is there to produce 50 units and the actual output is there, actually the firm is able to produce 30 units, then manager is trying to find out what the reason behind it, that we are not able to produce 50 units in that particular point of time. Suppose we have the manager have given the 1 week to employees to produce 50 units, but they are not able. So what is the lacking of it? He is going to find and get the corrective measure. If this 50 units, this planned output is not there, then how the manager will compare this actual output, that is 30 units, that it is adequate or not? That is clear to everyone. Yes. Now the next topic, that is after feature and importance of planning. I'm going to tell you, obviously the coin have two faces. So if there is an advantage of planning, there is some disadvantage of planning also, that we also have to discuss to understand whatever we are planning every time it will achieve the goal successfully or not. So for that, the next topic to understand this concept, that is limitation of planning, that is disadvantage of planning. Limitation of planning. The first limitation, that is planning leads to rigidity. It means once the plan have made, it's very difficult, and the manager, he is not in that position, the managers are not in that position to change in the planning, to make any changes in the planning. Suppose if any circumstances or situation are changed, then it's very it's not necessary the predetermined plan. It may give a positive result or not. Maybe it not give a positive result. So because of the rigidity of plan, it create very difficulty for the organizations, as the changes cannot be take place in the predetermined course of actions. That is clear. Next, that is planning may not work in dynamic environment. As you know, that the business environment is a dynamic environment. It's keep on changing, means the environment keep on changing. Sometimes the changes will occur in economic policy, sometimes the changes will that is, sometime it will be changes, the changes will take in customer taste and preference, sometime government policy will be changed. So if these changes, if these changes occur very frequently, very fastly, so the plan may be fail. We are not able to achieve our goal successfully if the changes will occur very frequently. Even as the manager, he has to foresee the future and making prediction, making his assumptions. It's very difficult to foresee all the factor, all the aspects of the business environments carefully. So because of that, we are not able to achieve our goal successfully. That is clear. Next limitation, it reduce creativity. Planning reduce creativity. As the manager, he has to follow that rigid plan and he become the blind follower of that plan. Even the manager, they don't take any initiative for making changes in the business environment. They stop giving their suggestion, giving their ideas, as the manager have to work according to the plan. They have to perform his or her work according to the plan. So it reduces creativity and personal application also. Next, that is it involve huge cost. It involve huge cost means a large amount of money is to be spent on that. As you know, the planning, it is a mental process, intellectual process. For that planning, obviously it require a higher thinking. So the firm, they need to appoint a experts or a specialist, and these experts or specialists, for performing their task, they are charging more amount, and along with the salary, with these experts, time and money are also spent on the forecasting of different aspect of the business environment, or forecasting of future for making prediction. So it is a cost consuming process, and if the plan is not beneficial, means if it is not give benefit, means if the benefit is more of planning is more than the if the benefit is not more than the cost, so this should not be carried out. The planning should not be carried out. That is clear. Next, that is, it is a time consuming process. Time consuming also. Time consuming process, how it is to be time? Because for forecasting, for making prediction, the manager have to spend lot of time for forecasting a future accurately or adequately. Even the manager have to spend lots of time for making the list of alternative, and also analyzing it and then selecting it. So it will delay in action also. If there is a immediate action is required, so planning will not be workable. So that don't require planning. That is clear. Next, that is the sixth one that I am going to tell you. It doesn't give guarantee to success. It's not necessary, as many times the manager, they have a false thought, false sense of security, that whatever the plan that the manager have made in past, and it will be the work carried out successfully. So if we are going to implement the same plan in future, we will able to achieve our goal successfully. But this thought, it's not true. It is totally wrong that what plan we have made that will be workable in past successfully, so it will be workable in future. No, that is not possible. Many factors are there which cause to the failure of plan. So planning, it doesn't give guarantee, it giving assumptions by forecasting the future, but it doesn't give any solution to the future course of action. That is clear. Next, some external limitation is also there which affect the organization's external limitation. First, that is natural calamity. Due to natural calamity. Due to natural calamity, for example, flood, fire, drought, that will also create problem for the organization, and it will also be the cause of failure of planning. Next, change in competitors' policy. Suppose whatever the plan you have made, whatever the policy you are taking, it is not if your competitors' policy is better. If your competitor's policy is better, then competitor is able to achieve that goal successfully, and your plan is going to be failure, and it is that plan is not able to achieve the goal successfully. So that is also the reason. Change in trend. Suppose the trend have changed according to your plan. The trend have changed. Whatever the plan you have made, that customer like that type of product, but they are not liking. Their taste and preference have changed. So it may cause failure of your plan. Next, that is change in technologies. Suppose you have made a plan according to the technology which is available for yourself, and the when it is going to execute, the technology have changed. So you have to make changes, and you haven't made it. So because of that, your plan is going to be failure, maybe failure of just because of changing technology. So these are some external limitation that also affect our planning. Now I am going to tell you the next topic, that is planning process. The process of planning. Planning of process. The first, that is setting up objective. Setting up of objective. As the planning function, it is start with the setup of objective, setup of goal. Because the other things means the plan, the policies, the procedure, the method for achieving that objective, it is to be made after the setting of objective. And the manager, he should keep in mind, before setting up the objective, the financial and physical resource which is available in the firm. And after setting up the objective, he should communicate with the employees to perform that, or to perform their task to achieve that objective. That is clear. So that is the first process in that planning is start. The next step, that is developing premises. Developing premises. The next, that is developing premises. Premises means the assumptions, making assumptions regarding future. These premises, it become the base for making our plan for the achievement of objective. Now, for making this assumptions and making this premises, the manager have to forecast the future. He need to forecast the future, and on the basis of his forecasting, he is going to make some assumptions, and he is On the basis of that assumptions, the firm is able to make the plan. Some forecasting tools are like, for get to know that what is the demand of the product, how much share in the market we have, our organization is having. So that type of forecasting tool is to be utilized for making the assumptions. What will be the demand of that product, what will be the government policy, what will be the economic policy. That is some forecasting tool on which our plan is to be made, that assumptions we are making in the developing premises in this step. Next, that is listing of alternatives. After setup of objective, after selecting the objective goal of organization, the manager is going to make a list of alternative for achieving our goal. Whatever the goal we have set up, the manager have set up, the management have set up, the organization have set up, for achieving it, what alternative we have to achieve it. So, for example, if the objective is to increase the sale by 20%, so what alternatives we have? Increasing our production of that product, then offering discount, increase the expenditure on advertisements. So these are the things that we can do for achieving our objective. So this is the next step. Now the next step, that is evaluating alternatives. After making the list of alternatives, the manager is going to analyze that alternatives, evaluate that, check that alternatives, and also noted down the all negative and positive aspect of all the alternatives. He is going to eliminate those alternatives which have lots of negative aspects and selecting the one which has more positive aspect after feasibility study. That is clear. Next step in that is selecting alternative. In the next step, the manager is going to select the best alternative which give maximum prosperity to the firm, and it is achievable, it is always feasible, profitable for the achievement of organizational goal. So in that step, the manager is going to select the best alternative. As you know, for selecting the alternative, there is no mathematical formula or tool that can be utilized for selecting the alternative. So sometimes instead of selecting a one alternative, he is going to select a combination of different alternative for the achievement of organizational goal. The plan, the alternative which is selected, it is feasible, profitable, and giving more prosperity to the organization and easier for achieving the organizational goal. The plan, the ideal plan, whatever the ideal plan is there, that whatever the organization major plan it is to be there, they have to select it, and also they have to make some small plans which support this major plan. These small plans are to be made for performing the routine job in the organization. These supportive plans are derived from the major plan, main plan. That's why it is called, these small plans are also called as derivative plans. For example, some small derivative plans like buying of raw material, buying of equipment, selecting employees according to requirement, that is some derivative plan. So in that we are selecting that. Next, that is the next step that in planning process we have to do, that is implementation of plan. After selecting the plan, the best alternative, now the firm is going to draft the plan on paper. But this plan is no use until and unless it will not implement the form, or it will not implement to put in action. So it is very necessary, after selecting and after drafting the plan, the manager will communicate with each and every employee of the organization about that plan, as these employees, they are only carried out that their performance according to this specified plan. So it is must to communicate with them, and also manager to take their support for supporting that plan, and also supporting their efforts for achievement of organizational goal. That is clear. Next, that is the last step that we in planning we have to perform, that is follow up. As in the feature we have discussed, planning is a continuous process. So because of that, after implementing or putting the plan into action, the manager's job is not going to end. He must touch with the plan and also analyze and monitoring while it is implementing and while it is to be performed. He should also monitoring the performance of the employees, as they are performing according to the specified plan or not. They are performing their activity according to the specified plan or not. So there must be it is must by the manager to be in touch with the plan, and even the changes will occur time to time in this business environment. So he should also be touched that he can make the changes according to the changes take place in the environment. And even he can also monitor the plan, that whatever we have planned, the manager have planned with the help of his forecasting, prediction and past experience, it is applicable to the present situation. It is applicable to the present situation or not. That it is applying on the present situation or not. That also should be monitored. Because if the plan is not applicable to our present situation, means whatever the plan that is to be made, it is not good, or we are not able to achieve our goal successfully. For example, at the time of selecting the plan, the inflation rate was 5%. Now it is 10% while we are implementing the plan. While we are performing that plan, so we need to make changes according to the changes take place in the environment, and also learn that still something is required, something is lacking, we are not able to forecast the future accurately. So we need to learn from our mistake also, and that this mistake will not occur in future. We will take care of that. That is clear. So these are the point of the planning process. Clear, everyone? Yes. Now the next topic, that is plan. Plan, that you know it very well. It is an outline or a guideline for achieving a desired goal or objective. That is clear. It is an outline for achieving a desired objective. Through systematic work, organized work in the organization, we should make a plan. And it is not the responsibility of top level. The plan is to be made by different level of manager for handling their different situation or unexpected situation. There are two plans: single use plan or standing plan. Single use plan and standing plan. Single use plan are those plan which is to be used one time, for achieving a particular goal. As the goal is achieved, that plan is going to be end. We are going to end that plan. ठीक है ना? That plan is finished. For achieving a particular course objective, what plan we have made, as the objective is achieved, that plan is going to be end. That is clear. Next, standing plan. Standing plan are those plan which can be used again and again for for achieving a objectives. Some changes can be done, some molding, some changes can be made by the managers in that plan, but it can be repeat again and again. We can use over a period of time. That is clear? Clear to everyone? Okay. Now I am going to tell you types of plan. Types of plan. And even I am going to tell you also which are single use plan and which are standing plan. That is clear? The first plan, that is objective. Objective, it is the end towards the activities performed. Whatever the activity the employees are performing, as the activity is going to be end, it means that plan is also going to be end. That is to be considered as objective. The objective should always be achievable, measurable, and always smart. Means manager should smart by setting up the objective. He should also keep in mind keeping in mind that what financial and physical resource we are having. According to that, he should set up the objective. Objectives are neither single use plan nor standing plan. Objectives are neither single use plan nor standing plan. That is clear? As objective is to be determined because all the activity, policy, procedure, method should be framed on the basis of that objective. That is clear to everyone? Next, that is our strategy. The next plan, that is strategy. Strategies mean a comprehensive plan for achieving an organizational goal. A comprehensive plan for achieving an organizational goal. Strategies is to be prepared by different level of manager for achieving the organizational goal. It is a blueprint of plan for achieving an organizational goal. Strategies may be for introducing a new product or existing product. What strategy should be made? Like if we are introducing a new product, it should be introduced or not. Who are their customer? What is the demand of it? To scan the business environment very carefully, we have to make the strategies. That is clear. For example, if the firm want to introduce a new product, it will be demanded or not. How much demand will be there? How many customers are to be there? What taste and preference they are expecting from our product. Even if we want to make any changes in the existing product, what is their expectation? Is customer will like or not? That is the strategies. That is clear to everyone? Okay. Now the next is our third one, that is policy. One more thing I am going to tell you, that is strategies are also neither single use nor standing plan. That is clear to everyone? Neither single use nor standing plan. Means sometime it can be single use, sometime. So that's why it is neither single use nor standing plan. Next is policy. It is a type of a standing plan. Standing plan. That is clear? Policy, it is a general response for handling a particular problem or a situation. In simple words, we can say that organizational own way for handling a problems. Policy guide the employees if any situation, unexpected situation will be there, how will these employees will deal with that unexpected situation, how they will solve it. So policy should be made in advance for handling a future situation that will be occur in future. That is clear? For example, I am telling you, suppose a school is having a policy to take the admission in class 11 to those students, only those who have 60% marks in class 10th. Only those students should be admitted in class 11, those have 60% in class 10th. So the management, they have made the policy in advance. So those who are employing over there, those who are working, means the assistant person, he or she know it very well that he will take the admission and he will inform to the student, if you have 60%, then you are eligible to get the admission in our school, otherwise no. So it is a predetermined course of action for handling a future situation or an unexpected situation. That is clear? One more example I am giving, that is some shops, they are having a fixed rate policy. So it is also decided by the management that whatever the goods we are selling, it is fixed rate. We are not going to bargaining on it. That is clear? No credit policy. That type of policy should be there. Clear to everyone? Okay, next, that is our procedure. Procedure means the step which is required to perform a particular job, particular task. What is step which is required to perform a particular task? That should be considered as procedure. It should also be decided in advance, that will not create any confusion in the mind of employees. They know it very well how the work should be carried out and what step should be taken first. So the procedure should be predetermined for performing a future course of action. For example, suppose an employee, the instruction I have given to him and the procedure I have made to make the product, that firstly he has to use that raw material, then he is going to add that raw material, then he is putting in the machine, then machine will, and then he is going to switch on that button and the product is going to be prepared like this. So the step should be there. For one more example I am giving to you, suppose the steps should be made by the school, that firstly, and assistant he know, firstly whosoever will come to get the admission in school, to take the admission in school, firstly he has to fill that form. After filling the form, the assistant is asking for the document which is required with that form. So along with that form, he is going to keep in one folder the form and the document which is required to get the admission in the school, like Aadhaar card or birth certificate, that is your transfer certificate, report card and all. That is clear? He or she is going to keep that form and document in one folder. Then is going to keep that folder before the admission in charge, and he is going through it for taking admission. That is clear. So this is procedure. Next I am going to tell you that is method. The next plan, that is method. It is a systematic way. It is a process, or it is a plan for performing the job, routine or repeated job, in a systematic way. For carried out the systematic way in the repeated job or routine job, that is to be considered as method. Method is also to be made in advance. It is also to be prepared in advance, so it doesn't create any chaos and confusion in the mind of employees. They are having a clear thought that from which method they have to perform their activity. It acts as a guideline for the employees that how they are going to perform their task. That is clear to everyone. For example, valuation of depreciation. How the assets are depreciated. From which method? As two methods are there, straight line method or written down method. So it is decided in advance from which method that assets should be depreciated in the firm. So it will not create any chaos and confusion in the employees. The employees will carry it out according to the method which is decided in advance. One more example that I am giving to you, that is valuation of stock. LIFO or FIFO method. LIFO means last in first out, or FIFO means first in first out. So the stock will be valued from which method? It is decided in advance, by LIFO method or by FIFO method. That is clear. Next I am going to tell you that is rules. Rules means which spell out what should be done in the organization or what should not be done in the organization. It spell out the specific action or non-action of the employees in the firm. Rules, no one is allowed to discreate the rules. In the organization, the rules must be followed very strictly, and if anyone discreate the rules, then a strict action should be taken against that employees. Rules, it create the discipline environment in the organization. Because of rules, the people are being disciplined, work in discipline, and systematic work should be carried out in the organization. For example, if the rule is no smoking in the organization, means it is to be mentioned. If anyone will find the firm or anyone catch for smoking in the organization, then he will be penalized or punished by the firm. That is clear. So it will clarify that what employees should be perform and what should they not perform in the organization. That is clear. Next I am going to tell you that is programs. Programs, it means it is a combination of procedure, objective, policy and rules. These all plans togetherly consider as a program. Program is to be made for systematic work in the organization. The program should be made not only by top level. Every level of manager, they are making their plan. The major program is to be made by top level, and the supportive plan, it is to be made by the different level of management, different level of managers. That is clear to everyone. Next, For example, construction of mall, that is a program. In that, objective is here that from for what purpose it is to be established, procedure we have made that how we are going to construct it, policies there that what is the timing of employees, when they will come for their work, when the firm will leave them from the work, what wages they will getting, that is the policy. Rules that they should follow, that particular rules for performing their task. So the work should work in a systematic way, in a disciplined way. That is clear to everyone. That is the last plan. That is your budget. Now about budget. It is a statement that expect in numerical terms. That always expect in numerical terms. In budget, the results are always measurable, and most of the time it is financial in nature. But it doesn't mean only financial budget are to be prepared. Capital budget is also prepared for get to know how much capital is required for running the activity of the organization, from which source we are going to raise that fund, from owner's fund or for that is your borrowed fund. We should make a capital ratio from which source we are going to take, and how much we are going to raise from as a debt borrowed fund, and how much we are going to raise as a owner's fund. That is clear. Operational budget is also prepared. In operational budget, what budget is to be prepared at? The working hours of the employees, how much they are working, how much hours to be taken to complete a task, how much efforts they are putting how much raw material is to be used. That all the things are to be made prepared in operational budget. I am giving an example of sales budget. Sales budget, that is, suppose sales in unit, that is 1 lakh, and price per unit of that product, that is 20 rupees. The total sale, that is of 20 lakh rupees. So this type of budget is to be prepared. I'm going to tell you which type of plan. Procedure, it is a standing plan. Method is also a standing plan. Rules, it is also a standing plan. Program, it is a single use plan. Budget, it is also a single use plan. Means according to those which are standing plan, means the changes can be occurred, but it can be repeated again and again. If I am talking about program and budget, these are single use plan, and as the objective is achieved, as the objective have done, this program is going to be end. Suppose construction of mall, as mall have constructed, we are going to end up that plan, and again we are going to make another plan, same as it is in budget also. As one budget is going to be end or achieved, the other going to be prepared with different way. That is clear. That's why it is considered as single use plan. The chapter has finished.